Hey everybody, this is Dr. Zero bringing you another tips and tricks video on the video game Subnautica Below Zero. It's like a crafting survival game if you haven't played the first one. But if you have played the first one, you know all about it. It's in early access. You can get on Steam for 20 bucks. Pretty fun game. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. So this video isn't going to be like a run through. I'm not going to play the game and show you all the things like all these other YouTubers are going to do because it's already been done. This is going to be for somebody that's been playing the game and, you know, they're having trouble figuring something out, even though it's only like 2 hours of game time. If you're like new to the game or you're having trouble trying to figure one little aspect of the game out, this is what this video is about. Okay, so I did a full playthrough of the game and I had some commentary. I was doing that, so I'm going to pull from that video and then just kind of narrate over, like, do this, go here, this is what this does, don't bother this. Again, this is all super spoilers. If you're trying to, like, not be ruined for, like, exploring and stuff like that, don't watch the video just yet. If you figured the game out and there's some little thing you don't know how to do, then watch this video. But I'm giving you a warning, it's super spoilers. I'm literally going to tell you everything about the game, the fastest way to get the stuff, don't go this place, that kind of thing. Alright, well, here we go. Oh, excellent. Push the button. Alright, so when you wake up, there's basically just the PDA that's in this room, and then there's one other PDA in the whole habitat, and that's all you get. I would suggest going through and reading all the databanks. Take your time, read through it, learn it a little bit. But as far as like you getting anything, there's literally nothing in the base. So after you explore it, just go ahead and head out. Alright, so after you go outside, there's really, you can look around, there's nothing going on. You have to go down this corridor where there's these plants. If you look at them long enough, they'll hurt you, but realistically they can't do anything. They're pretty to look at, but just move through this area. So you're going to come up to this alien arch thing. It's got a PDA. You're going to have to do some reading. It's going to talk to you. There's going to be some ominous undertones, and you're going to have to turn around and go back. There's nothing here, so don't bother. I mean, go ahead and bother and look, but there's nothing. So an avalanche is going to take out your old route, and you're going to have to go a new one. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. Imagine that. My perfectly safe habitat is no longer accessible. And the plants that want to eat me are everywhere. Hi. Is this a roundabout way back to my research station? Whoa! Whoa! That is not good! That's it! Game's like, here's your perfect place. Nah, that shit's gone. Oh, that was great. Yeah, now I gotta go underwater. The real game begins. Okay, that's good. Alright, as you begin swimming through this little cave here, there's gonna be this plant that gives you oxygen. I didn't realize this. I just thought it might be something scary, so I swam by it. But if you hit the interact button, it's gonna give you air, just like in the first game. If you stood over these little oxygen plants, they'd give you a little bit of oxygen. Same thing. It's going to help get you through tight spots and caverns, things like that, where your oxygen tank might not be enough. I got through it without hitting that thing, but yeah, it might help you out. Turn around a little bit. Alright, so you come out into the open water finally. Check out your new environment. It's pretty gorgeous. You can finally start accessing materials, things like that. If you swim around long enough, you're going to get a message. And that's when you get your life pod, which now you can start fabricating and doing all that good stuff.
Stay where you are. I'm sending a rescue shuttle.
No, I'm okay. I just need shelter.
Fine, I'm sending a temporary habitat instead. Look up.
Thank you, Sam.
Call me when you get there.
Oh. Look at that. There we go. Little penguins playing around. Look at that. Oh. There's got to be something terrible that eats them. And me. Ooh, that looks nice. Fiber mesh.
New blueprint acquired.
Like the...
Sam, I'm at the habitat.
Oh,
Any
okay.
word on Jeffries?
Nothing yet.
Yeah, he's...
And the facility? It said my name.
He's being digested
know
right
why.
now. The pod has, you know, the basic fabricator. It's got storage in it. As soon as you walk in, you get the fiber mesh thing unlocked. I would go ahead and go into the fabricator and just start looking at all the recipes. And if you've never played a crafting game, yeah, you're going to have to go get resources and then put those together in the fabricator, and then you get tools and equipment. So spend some time trying to memorize this, and then you're off to resource gathering. So the resources in this game come from mostly outcroppings. They're going to be like these little rocks. And there's different types that when you crack it open by double tapping on it, you'll get some type of resource, and it's going to go into your inventory. And the limestone, they give you either titanium or copper. And then there's going to be these fragments. You scan them to get the blueprints to them. Then you can build that thing. But if you've already got it, all fragments will automatically give you titanium. Alright, so the limestone gives you titanium, copper. Alright, now these bad boys are the quartz. You're going to need them to make like hatches, solar cells, and glass. To make batteries, you're going to need these things called ribbon plants. You need like a copper and 2 of these suckers. But this is what they look like. They're not as common as the mushrooms were in the first Subnautica, but once you start looking around and you go a little deeper, there's plenty enough near the first habitat, but they're kind of all over the place, so it's not that big a deal. There is no battery charger in the game right now, so you have a limited amount of batteries technically, but there's enough to make probably 100 batteries easily. I mean, it's all over the place. Alright, to make water, you're going to need to catch this little guy. It's called a bladder fish. Just double click on it as soon as you get up to it. And the fish in this are surprisingly easy to capture. Yeah, just walk up to it, double tap it, goes into your inventory. Hey, there he is. And from what I know, they last indefinitely. Like, until you cook them or do anything like that, they'll basically just stay alive. They won't rot or anything. Alright, for food, you know, you're going to have to explore with the different fish, interacting with them. But you just, once you know what they look like, you just go up to them and double tap them, just like that bladder fish. And then, bam, they're in your inventory. And different fish will give you different amounts of, you know, energy. So there's some that are better than others. As you explore, you'll find out. The peeper is the best. The Arctic peeper. This is uncooked. But once you cook it, you get more stuff out of it. So let's check that out. So to get water and food, you just go in your fabricator. And since you've got bladder fish, just hit on filtered water. Bam. You've now got a bottle of filtered water. And then the same thing for food. You pick on the available fish that you've caught already and just put cooked. And then you can collect salt, and I'll show you that. And you can cure the fish, and it won't rot. So we got a cooked hoop fish, 23. But the Arctic peeper, he's really good. He's at 32. Bam. You're gonna drink some water. That's a cured Arctic peeper. If you add salt to it, you can cure it, and they don't rot. But if you do cook a fish and you wait a while, it's gonna rot, and it'll actually take health away from you. So when you're just cooking them, eat them up, and you can go above 100 with just one fish. Like say you're at 99 and you eat a fish that's at 23, it's gonna go up to 22, but you can't eat more than that. Like whatever that bonus is, that's all the bonus you get past 100. So let's look for salt. Alright, so this is what salt looks like. It's kind of a crystalline, blocky looking thing. Just like any game, resources are spread out. Sometimes there's concentrations, and you just learn where those concentrations are. Just go ahead and pick that up. Alright, then once again, you just go in, and instead of cooking it, you go to cured food, and go down to cured Arctic Peeper, and then bam. And it's indefinite. You put it in a locker, and it's good forever. It'll never go bad. Which, strangely, uncooked fish last forever too. So, just so you know. Alright, as you get more resources and tools, you'll be able to start going down deeper. And another thing you're going to need is sulfur, for one thing. So, just watch out for those guys. They basically come out of this weird alien-looking sack and try to, if they get near you, they'll blow up. They're going to try to come at you and they'll explode and do damage to you. They don't do much damage, so it's not that big a deal. But from inside them, you get crystalline sulfur. Okay, after this point, what I did is I started a new game so I could show you how to get from each point in the game story-wise as fast as possible, like what happens initially. Because I had recorded an entire playthrough beforehand, and now I'm just going to do from the beginning. So the habitat just dropped, and what I'm looking for is are things initiated by time or by things that you get, like different resources. A lot of times there's different story triggers, and I'm trying to figure that out for you as quick, to show you as quick as possible. So I'm gonna get all the stuff for my first equipment, but I'm pretty sure that the resource that starts the next storyline is fiber mesh.
Any word on Jeffries?
Nothing yet.
And the facility?
Blah, 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 blah,
It
blah.
said my name. I need to know why.
I know. Make something to eat. Get equipped. I'll have answers by then.
Will do.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do the beginning stuff. I'm not gonna show you that on screen. I'm gonna get all the first equipment. But if there's any events that get triggered, that's when I'm gonna, go ahead and put that in the video. But I'm pretty sure it's fiber mesh, but I could be wrong. It could be the distance that I swim from the habitat, or it could be time, the amount of time that I'm in game. So we're just gonna go ahead and start doing that.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Robin, the boss wants a sit rep.
I'm cold, I lost all my gear, and I'm no wiser to what's going on. But I'm alive.
I can't authorize another drop. Hold on. There's an emergency cache. Hasn't been touched since the scouts landed 6 months ago. Could be useful.
Send me the coords.
On your HUD.
Okay, so I didn't research or go into any different areas. It seems to be a time-initiated trigger for the emergency supply cache. So that's going to be the next thing we're going to do, is we're going to go in that direction. And at this point, I've got most stuff. I'm about to make the sea glide, and we're going to head over there. Alright, so here we come to the emergency supply cache, which is going to have a data box. It's going to have the high capacity O2 tank. And then you're going to have these things right here, which are precursor technology. You want to scan them. Ooh, I made a mistake. Oh man. There we go. The precursor technology.
An alien sanctuary in the Twisty Bridges, 200 meters down.
I need to go back to the research site.
I can't let you.
Why not?
Boss's orders. We're trying to keep you alive.
Only because salaries cost less than lawsuits.
Is that cynicism making you friends down there?
Sure. They're just not human.
The files are on your databank. Do as you please, just tell me what you find. And don't get me into trouble.
Alright, so the Twisty Bridges and the Sanctuary Zero. So, just to give you a heads up, Got a little lost. Alright. The emergency supply cache has this little biome in it that is, I thought it was the Twisty Bridges. It's this, I don't have much time here, I don't have a lot of oxygen, I gotta make my new tank, but I just want to go ahead and do this. But, it's this stuff down here. I thought it was the Twisty Bridges. It is not. This is a little biome that's got some resources, which I'm going to show you, but definitely not the Twisty Bridges. I spent like an hour and a half thinking that's what that was, because they're pretty twisty. Now, to make the high-capacity O2 tank, you need silver ore, which that is going to be something you find in this weird little area that's by the emergency supply cache. So before you leave this area, go down here, in this little hole here, and you're going to see a new type of ore. And you're going to want to crack that open, and you just need the one of them. But down here is just a whole puzzle work of stuff. And I spent a lot of time down here. And there's pretty much nothing down here. I'm assuming there'll be more. If you go down deep enough, there's the blood oil seeds. Maybe they'll be used for something. But I mean, there's definitely some useful resources in here. But until you get a better O2 tank, it's pretty easy to die down there.
30 seconds.
Okay, before we go to the Twisty Bridges area, the next part of the game, make sure you're full up on, you got some filtered water, most of your stats are full, you've got one cured Arctic peeper, you got some beacons, the Pathfinder tool, and an extra battery, because it's a lot to explore. Okay, so to find the Twisty Bridges, take your little portable habitat and then their emergency supply cache, and think of it like a straight line between them, and you're just heading that way. Also, another reference, if you look up, that's where you came from. That's that big mountain. Well, it's going to be directly that way, 180 degrees. And you know you're getting there because you'll start seeing all these tentacle-looking suckers, these things, and it's going to start getting deeper in blue. Also, when you're swimming, just a side note, if you've got something in your hand, like a tool, or you catch a fish or something, you swim slower, so don't do that. If you want to go faster, get stuff out of your hands. So this is it. This is the Twisty Bridges. You're going to want to explore all in here. Having the tank is definitely going to help with that. Okay, as you're coming over the Twisty Bridges, if you're going in a straight line, you'll see an artifact here. Kind of want to scan them. I think it's part of the game where you get rewards for it. You can see up there in the top left. But if you follow that one, again, it's almost like a straight line from there to here. Keep going. Let's get this bad boy out. Keep going. And you'll see another one. And this is one of the higher points on here. You see this bad boy right here? So he kind of made a straight line, and this is in the Twisty Bridges. This is kind of a high point. And you see that guy right there. You're going to want to head down. Yep. And then
Passing 100 meters.
you're going to see this sucker right here. So there's nothing really here. And there's an oxygen plant right here. And that right there is the doorway to it. But I'm going to go back up. And to the left of here is something you're really going to need. And it's super easy to get turned around. Yep, that's what we want. Right there.
30 seconds.
And there's not much fanfare. Let me get up here. And it didn't make a big to-do about it, but you get the rebreather, which makes this part of the game a lot easier, because I couldn't find this for a long time, and it made this part super hard. Like, I was sketchy as all get out. I can do it without it, but if I were you, at this point I would go back to base, then come back here, and then try this. And you want to get a beacon and mark this place for makes it easier to find in the future. The entranceway to the Sanctuary 0, which I've done it once or twice, so I kind of know where it is. It's still pretty easy to get turned around in here. There we go. So what I do is I put just a beacon right here.
We've got you on GPS. You're close to the sanctuary. Do you see anything?
Some alien structures dotted about. I'll see where they lead.
Alright, so those things right there, they're alien precursors. Technology. It lets you know that you're near it. But I'm gonna go up and get some air, but it's basically a straight shot to where you gotta go. You can always find it basically because of this thing right here. It's like a place marker. But you're gonna spend a lot of time exploring this. Even with the basic directions I've given you, it's pretty easy to get mixed up in here. You can see it's just a kind of a straight shot from there to this over here. But you see how this, it's kind of like the high point in this whole structure. It's right here. It's kind of like your marker. Once you get to this thing right here, that's like the highest point. It's got these little glow things here. And it's got this real distinctive, one distinctive ring that's sticking out right here. It's just a straight shot down. And then that beacon's there. The other thing's roughly over here. It's to the left. It's going to be right over there to the left somewhere. Like in that area. Alright, so let's go down there and do this. Again, make sure you got pretty good. 40% is pretty good on my Sea Glide, but you got another battery. And then,
100 meters.
right before you go in here, grab some oxygen. And I've played through it once or twice. Or, this is my second playthrough, actually. So I've kind of have an idea. And they put the alien technology, so it's kind of easy for you to recognize where you're going. But it's basically a straight shot. There's nothing in here, it's gonna hurt you. And then you come to this thing, and it's gonna start playing some weird noise, music.
Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
Hear it? Alright, so this is the next part of the game. Alright, there's nothing in here to scan.
Concede.
I come in peace.
Absence of hostility. Sufficient.
Are you alive? Or a computer?
What is the difference?
I want to meet the people who built this place. What do you want?
For you to stay here.
With you?
Forever.
Why?
Your masters will seek to harness my power.
You've met Altera then?
It is what we would do.
People will come for me.
They will also stay here. That is all.
I waited my life for this. I'm not your enemy. Hello?
And is it me, or does that voice sound like the Master Control program from the original Tron movie? Alright. That's about it, and you're gonna make it into the main room here. Go ahead and check it out. I mean, everything in this game you should check out. It's just so beautiful. Take the time. I mean, you're not on a speed run. I'm basically doing a speed run so you can see where to go if you don't know where to go. And sometimes there's bugs as far as walls. This just happened to me. It's not letting me go in. Move around and you get through it. Some of the areas in the game have that. And you're gonna come to this. I like to think of it as a badass Rubik's Cube or the Hellraiser Cube, whichever.
Turn back. Now.
What is this room for?
Do not touch anything. You would not understand. Die peacefully.
Words of wisdom. Alright, so you're gonna go up here. And you're gonna access this bad boy.
Data must be flushed to an empty storage vessel. Searching. Storage vessel found. Commencing download. Download complete.
You have no concept for what has just occurred.
Oh, I know it hurt. What happened?
Download capacity was identified in your cerebral cortex.
You're in my head?
It is uncomfortable. Return me.
Release the force fields first.
Return me, or I will destroy your orbital station.
Why not do it now?
My survival chance increases if I do not draw attention.
I don't think you have the power. I think you're scared.
Then I will destroy you. I am experiencing technical difficulties. Do not move. Do not move. Errors. Hibernating.
I didn't mean to scare you. What is happening?
Alrighty. So, that's pretty much all there is to this place. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. And head back up. Alright, so when you scan enough of these precursor things, you get bounty. I guess that's the thing in the game where when you scan enough of them, you get a reward. So one of these is drop it down now. And it's taking its sweet old time. You don't actually... You can't actually build that, to my knowledge. I mean, I've tried, you can't really build it. I think, yeah, you have to wait till it hits the bottom, which could take a while. I'm probably gonna cut to that.
Did you make it inside the sanctuary?
Yep.
Anything unusual?
Like what?
We're getting odd readings from your biometrics.
Malfunction, maybe?
I want to make sure. We're sending down a disposable bioscanner. Take a sample and send it up in the cargo rocket.
Okay. I'm on it.
Alright, so this is the next part of the game. I'm guessing it's a time thing, but, she sent down this bioscanner thing. So that's gonna be floating now. We need to go get that, too. But, before we do that, I want to go check out what was in here.
Hey, you in there. We're in trouble.
If you send a sample, your masters will come for us.
They'll do the same if I don't.
Return me to the sanctuary.
So you can trap me again? No.
Then I will mask my presence. Initiate the scan.
I need to get some data thing about her family, I believe. Yeah, anyway. What's in here? We got some water. Med kit. And then heating gel, which in the game right now, cold doesn't affect you. But I guess it will. So that's what those things do. That's going to be, I guess, how they're planning to implement in the game. Some type of reward cargo system from the space station. So let's go find this thing that's the next part in the game. It's cool noise. Alright, so bioscanner. And what you're going to do is you're going to equip that. And use it.
Sam, I've got the sample. Looks normal.
Okay, good. Send it up ASAP. The cargo rocket should be on your HUD.
Will do.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Alright, so that's where the cargo rocket is. Now, you're going to need the repair tool before you go, just so you know. You don't go all the way over there and then have to come back. So you need 1 crystalline sulfur, which is in those exploding fish things. So make sure you got this before you go over to the cargo rocket. Alright, so as we get to the cargo rocket, it's a new biome. Got all kinds of resources here. Gold and stuff. I believe there's lead and silver. Limestone. These bad boys. Yeah. That can hurt you pretty good. You know, just let them do it. But it's not crazy amount of damage, but it does hurt. But none of these like burn you like they did in the last one. There are the bone sharks, and right as you're swimming to it, there's going to be this one cave that should have at least 1 magnetite, which you're going to need for the scanner room. And it's going to let you find the other scanner room stuff. I mean, the other magnetite a lot easier, because right where the Sanctuary Zero thing is, there's something deep down there, which I was able to get. I got it without a rebreather or magnetite, but after exploring the island, I found this 1 magnetite here, and it makes it a lot easier. So I'm guessing these are hot, like, springs that they're going to implement when being outside, I guess, causes you damage. They'll probably have some kind of cold meter, but right now, you don't take damage from being outside. But I'm guessing that's going to be a thing. So, to get there, you gotta go through the caves. If you go through enough, you'll find it. It's not that confusing to go through here. And then you get to this base that's up here. Pretty cool. not a whole lot in here. You've got chairs and things you can scan, but scan the multi-purpose room, because you're going to get a builder, and you need this scan, I believe, to be able to build it. I mean, it won't matter for the end game, because after you do a couple more things, the game essentially stops, but you can still build stuff and explore like you did in Subnautica, the original Subnautica. You know, scan all these tables and things like that. But,
New blueprint acquired.
you can't scan this thing, but you got a coffee maker. Use that. You got a nutrient block. A big water, which should give you 50, and then a med kit. And the coffee, you don't have to stand there. Once you hit it, you'll get it. Nothing in there. It'll give you a coffee, which takes 2 water, but it gives you plus 50 for body heat. Again, this has to do with the cold thing that they're going to implement. Just more stuff to scan that really doesn't do anything. The multi-purpose room is the only thing that really matters to scan in here. Unless, I mean, if you like making furniture, go for it. Can't scan those yet. And we got the rocket. So the first time I did this, the rocket was pretty buggy. Pretty buggy. And it's gonna, it should be, yeah, it needs repairs. Let's go ahead and repair it. Now, when I put the sample in here, the first time on the other side, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to try and just put it on this side. And we're just going to switch that container. Alright. And then this thing needs to be repaired. Yes, and it's going to launch.
Inbound, Vesper.
Understood. If anything's wrong, we'll come get you. Hey, why not take a couple days R&R up here anyway?
Why don't you take a jaunt down here? Remind yourself that life comes in colors besides white, off-white, and grey.
And temperatures below 0? No thanks. But speaking of freezing to death, if you're staying on the ice, you'll need transport.
You're trusting me with a snow fox.
If I can find a version of the truth that authorizes it.
You're amazing. If you're listening, Altera, she's amazing. Promote this person.
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Love you! Now what?
So I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. I don't want to make this video too long. There will be a part 2 where we go over the building tool, the scanner room, this part in the Twisty Bridges area, and a couple other tips and tricks, and some of the flora and fauna. If you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comments for like things you want me to cover in the next video. Please do so. If you see anything that I did wrong, please leave it in the comments. You got any other questions, anything, just put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Alright people, take it easy. Crazy looking fish thing. Oh, cool. What are you, you're gonna, don't murder me. What? Don't die. Oh, here. Who's a silly, stupid thing? Look at you.
Oxygen.
See, you look like a donut that some other thing eats, and I don't want to be around that other thing.